Good morning, ReNew Christian family. Today is the Sabbath. Tomorrow is Mother's Day. This morning we are here to celebrate our mothers. I will give everybody a moment or two to log in. You can go to www.renewchristian.org, click on the live stream page. It will take you directly to our live stream this morning. You got to make sure that that the video player, once when you're there, that it is unmuted and the volume is up, or you will not be able to hear us. If you are live on Facebook right now, thank you for watching. If you are watching us on the Daily Gospel Network, thank you and God bless. This morning it's a privilege because I get to talk about my mother. And for those of you that know my mom, I feel sorry for you. No, I'm just kidding. We will be reading out of Ephesians chapter 6, verses 1 through 3 this morning. So today we are here to worship the Lord and honor our mothers. Not only are we commanded to honor our mothers, it's also the sensible and loving thing to do. Many of us watching online today wish we were still able to celebrate our mothers, wishing we still had our mothers living so we could honor them, remember them, love them, and talk with them. A lot of us this morning are not so fortunate because we have lost our mothers. A mother, what is a mother? Is she just someone who simply gave birth to us? No. A mother comes in all colors, shapes, and sizes. A mother can be biological. A mother can be our grandmother. A mother can be someone else's mother. But that still does not mean that she is not our mother. Little story, a 6-year-old boy was separated from his mother in a supermarket. He began to call out and frantically screaming, "Martha, Martha, Martha," which obviously was his mother's name, and she came running to him and quickly. "But honey, you shouldn't call me Martha. I am your mother." "Yes, I know," he answered. "But do you know the supermarket is full of mothers?" Our world is full of mothers, but we only have one. And this mother is special. And she must always be. There is no one like our mothers, and no one can take the place of our mother. Someone wrote, "We've turned into a mom when," are you ready for this, mothers? "You automatically double knot everything you tie. You find yourself humming the Barney song," and this was definitely the case for my little sister, Heidi. Oh man, Heidi loved Barney so much, and you just had to sing a Barney song. You just had to play Barney videos. You hear a baby cry in the grocery store, and you start gently swaying back and forth. However, your children are either at school or all grown up. You actually start to like the smell of strained carrots mixed with applesauce. Well, I don't know about that one. applesauce? Yeah, but I don't think I would like the smell with it chopped up with carrots. You spend a half hour searching for your sunglasses only to have your teenagers say, Mom, why don't you wear the pair of sunglasses that are attached to your head? A lot of case with my mom. You are out for a nice romantic meal with your husband, enjoying some real adult conversation when suddenly you realized you reached over and started to cut up his steak as if you were cutting it up for your child. You know that you're a mother. Things our mother has taught us. My mother taught me to appreciate a job well done even if I really didn't finish this job. She was always quick to say, I'm proud of you. Job is well done. If you were going to kill each other, do it outside. I just finished cleaning. Me and my brother used to tussle around a little bit. And yeah, Mom would be like, watch it now. You better pray that will come out of the carpet. My mother taught me about time travel. If you don't straighten up, I'm going to knock you into the middle of next week. My mother taught me logic. Because I said so, that's why. So when my mom taught me logic, that was the quick answer. Because I said so, that's why. That was the beginning and end of the conversation. My mother taught me foresight. Make sure you wear a clean pair of underwear just in case. Just in case what? My mother taught me irony. Keep crying and I will give you something to cry about. Does that sound familiar, church? My mother taught me about the science of osmosis. Shut your mouth and eat your supper. My mother taught me about stigma. You'll sit there until all your food is gone. Now, if my brother and my sisters are watching this morning, you guys remember this, right? We're going to sit there at the table until we eat everything. And if not, I remember a kitchen floor that was hard as a rock with dry beans that we knelt on. My mother taught me about the weather. This room of yours looks as if a tornado has hit it. My mother taught me about the circle of life. I brought you into this world, and I can take you out. How many mothers have said that to their children? My mother taught me about behavior modification. Stop acting like your father. My mother taught me about envy. There are millions of less fortunate children in this world and don't have a wonderful mother like you. My mother taught me about anticipation. This one's a good one. How many of you mothers have said this to your child? Just wait until we get home. Just wait until we get home. And boy, was I so anticipating a whooping. My mother taught me about receiving. You're going to get it when we get home. Wonderful words. My mother taught me the medical science. If you don't stop crying, if you don't stop crossing your eyes, the wind will change and your eyes will be stuck like this. Now, how is that a medical science? My mother taught me how to become an adult. If you don't eat your vegetables, you will never grow up. The things mothers will tell us for us to eat, things that we just think are so disgusting, when I would rather have a Big Mac. My mother taught me genetics when she would always say, you act just like your father. My mother taught me about roots. Shut that door behind you. Do you think you were born in a barn? My mother taught me wisdom. When you get to be my age, you'll understand. My mother taught me about justice. One day you will have kids, and I hope that they are just like you. On Mother's Day, we can't say enough good things about our mothers, but we'll try, and God help us if we don't, or if we don't get it right. I want to share briefly 3 thoughts. And if you're a note taker, by all means, go ahead and jot this down. Her hands work, her mouth speaks, her heart loves. Her hands work. Here's a little illustration about her hands work. A boy got his first job. As he was boasting about the amount of work he did, he said, I get up at 5 a.m. and have my breakfast. He asked, does anyone else get up too? He replied, oh yes, Mother gets up and fixes my breakfast and then fixes Dad's. And what about your dinner? The boy said, oh, Mother fixes that too. Does your mother have the afternoon to herself? The boy replied, no. Mama cleans the house, looks after the other children, and then gets supper for me and Dad. And when we come home, then we watch TV before we go to bed. What about your mother? What does she do? The boy replied, Mama washes some clothes and irons, then rests for the evening. Do you get paid? Of course. Dad and I get paid. And what about your mother? Does she get paid too? The boy replied, Mother, get paid? Mothers don't get paid. She don't do no work. If anyone here today believes that moms don't work, I would suggest that you better keep your mouth shut, because your mother will give you a whooping. In Proverbs 31, we see that mothers do all kinds of work. She sews. Verse 13, 19, and 22, she selects wool and works with eager hands. She shops. Verse 14, bringing her food from afar. In modern times, it's going to the grocery store. She cooks. She provides food for her family. She gardens. She plants vineyards. Our text also says that mothers, verse 15, get up while it is still dark to prepare food. And in verse 18, her lamp does not go out at night. Her lamp does not go out at night. Your mother is always your mother. She is constantly worried, thinking, caring, waiting for her children. That sounds like work to me. What's that old saying? Man works from sun to sun. But a woman's work is never done. And this is true. When I was born in 19-something, my mom already had my brother. And I believe my brother was 1. She already had my brother. I think he was still in diapers. No Pampers either. You know, back then it was, like a cloth diaper. And if you were fortunate, you might have had a washing machine. Most of you know about those days. Nothing fancy in our homes. No extras. But Mom worked hard. She worked very hard. She would cook. She would clean. she had several different jobs to try to support her toddler and her newborn. That sounds like work to me. And her being as young as she was, having 2 children, doing whatever she found necessary to take care of my brother and me. Her mouth speaks. Proverbs 31:26. She speaks with wisdom and instructions on her tongue. When preacher John Wesley was a student at Oxford University, he was shocked by the amount of drinking done by the students. Wonder what he would think about college students today. After writing to his mother, Susan, for her counsel, he received the following words: "My dear son, remember that anything which increases the authority of the body over the mind is an evil thing." Write that down, church. Write that down, because that is great instruction. And I'm sure that Susan said a lot of other good words of wisdom to her children. A London editor submitted to Winston Churchill for his approval a list of all those who had been Churchill's teachers. Churchill returned the list with this comment: "You have omitted to mention the greatest of my teachers, my mother." Mothers, you are an influence in your child's life, whether you know it or not. What you do, your child looks up to. Your child will follow. And fathers, this is for you also. How you go about your daily life and what proceeds out of your mouth, your child will also adapt when he's older or she's older. Set a good example for your children now, so that way when they are teenagers and older, they know what they are to do because they had a great teacher, his mother, his father. But the best teacher is our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. So mothers, if you live your life daily as the example that Christ laid before us, your children will be ever so blessed. You will be ever so blessed. A mother is the greatest preacher because your child looks up to you. If your mother is a born-again Christian and is deeply rooted, she is the best preacher. I don't remember much of what my mom said to me when I was a kid, obviously. I'm sure I made my mom sad plenty of times as a child. I remember a time or two where my mom would wash my mouth out with soap. I remember a time or two when I would get a whooping like you would never believe. So I'm sure my childhood, when I was younger, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I wasn't the best child. But then again, we're children. You need to have a proper role model in your life. Let's talk about our mother's hearts. Proverbs 31:11-12. Her husband has full confidence in her and lacks nothing of value. She brings him good, not harm, all the days of her life. Mothers and fathers, husbands and wives, you have to bring honor to one another by words, by actions. People need to see the love that you have for your spouse. You cannot bicker and hate one another and argue all the time, because your house will never stand. Your foundation needs to be strong. It doesn't matter what your background was. It doesn't matter if you were addicted to drugs or you were into prostitution. None of that should matter. When you find your mate and you marry, find the Lord. Live godly. You need a strong foundation. A mother's heart is a strong foundation, even though it is broken several times per child. A mother is always there with the quickness to give her heart, to give her love, to give a helping hand, to reach out. If a husband has full or complete confidence in his wife, then you know that she is a woman who loves her man. Proverbs 17:22, a cheerful heart is good medicine. A cheerful heart is good medicine. When there is a lot of laughter in a home, someone is putting out some good medication. And of course, there needs to be more laughter in the home and in the church and in the community. A teacher at a school put this question to little James in math class. James, suppose your mother made a cherry pie and there were 10 of you at the table. Your mother said, "Father and 8 children. How much of the pie would you get?" A ninth was his answer. No, James. Now pay attention. There are 10 of you in the home. Don't you know your fractions? Yes, ma'am, he replied. I know my fractions, but I know my mother even better. And she'd say that she didn't want any pie. Because a mother, the unselfishness of a mother shows a heart of love for her family, and all of us can remember many unselfish acts of devotion our mamas made to our home. I know my mom sacrificed a lot, did without, so my brother and I could have clothes, so we could have food. Christmas time would come around, and I know my mama spent every last penny she had to try to give us a great Christmas. There's been many times my mama would be wearing rags and go hungry to make sure her children did not have to suffer. And later on in life, she gave birth to many children. I have a whole list of little sisters, and as they were growing up, it was the same thing. Mama would bust her buns to make ends meet, so all of us children would not have to go hungry, would look okay with first day of school. We wouldn't be made fun of our first day of school because we had clothes with holes in them. She made sure that we were dressed appropriate, that our sneakers were new, as she would wear sneakers with holes in them. My mama has been through a lot in her life, like many moms have. But one thing for sure, she has a heart of gold. Regardless what trials and tribulations come, regardless if you get into a situation with your mother or your father and you don't talk to them for months or years, remember one thing. Your mother is your mother, and she is only here for a season. One of the commandments, honor thy mother and thy father. We don't have to agree with them. We don't have to think everything they say is good and we should listen to that. Now, this is for the adults, not the children. This is for the adult children. But we are to hear our mama's opinion. We don't have to agree with it. But at the end of the day, our mom is our mom. At the end of the day, she still loves us. Sometimes a mother or a child has to love one another from afar. But the mother's heart always stays open. A mother's heart always stays pure. A mother's heart is always ready to help their child. Rather, their child is 9, 19, or 90. Proverbs 31:28. Her children arise and call her blessed, her husband also, and he praises her. Mother's Day comes once a year. A mother is here yearly. Every day, every hour, every second, your mother is here. We need to honor our mother, love our mother, while we still have our mother. I know you guys are saying, well, Bishop, thank you for talking about your mom, but what about my mom? I don't know your mom. But one thing I do know, a mom is a mom. All moms have the same heart. All moms have the same love for their children. All moms want nothing but the best for their children. Children, you need to listen to your mom. Honor her, love her, respect her, and your days on earth will be long and prosper. ReNew family, join us tonight for a preaching service. Mothers, thank you for joining. I hope your Mother's Day tomorrow is wonderful. I hope you are overwhelmed with joy. I hope your children bring you great things. May the Lord love and keep you. Thank you for being a mom and raising your child. Thank you for not having, if you're not a biological mother, but you have taken on a role of being a mother. May God bless you. Church, tonight, as you see, 10 a.m. and 5 p.m. 5 p.m., join us, and we'll get into a sermon. I didn't want to hoot and holler like I usually preach because it was a Mother's Day sermon, and I didn't want to scare mothers. Thank you for joining us online at renewchristian.org. If you are on Facebook Live, thank you for joining our page. And if you are on our live stream platform, thank you very much for watching this morning's Mother's Day sermon. If you are watching us via the Daily Gospel Network, thank you. Give your mom a big hug. Tell your mom you love her. If you haven't spoke to your mom in a while, pick up the phone. Pick up the phone and call your mom. Tell your mom that you love her. Tell your mom that you're sorry. Try to rekindle that flame. Because, like I said, your mom is only here for a season. Let's have it be a happy, loving, blessed season. I'm your pastor, Bishop Chris Hernandez Rivera from ReNew Christian Tabernacle. God bless you all. I'll see you tonight at 5.